All right, thank you very much. Lenny, guys,
Okay, let's go to work.
Lynn's right there. Hi, Lynn. All right, welcome to the June 27th, 2018 ZBA meeting.
Okay, I won't go to work.
The next ZBA meeting will be July 25th, 2018. If you could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fielding a full board this evening, so that is good. Actually, no. Kathleen, I'm going to have you sit in for Tony this evening. Thank you. And Rich, if you could read the preamble.
Absolutely. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We will proceed with the petitions in the order they are listed on the agenda unless the board deems it appropriate to take a petition out of order. State law and local ordinances set out the criteria that must be met in order for this board to grant a request. Minimum requirements are outlined on the form provided by the Community Development Office, and the petitioner should proceed with this format to provide adequate justification for the board to grant request. The chair will then open the meeting to hear testimony either for or against the request. All discussion will be between the speaker and the board. Please be respectful of all, and in the interest of time, refrain from repeating previous testimony. No new documentation will be accepted by the board for consideration this evening, but the board reserves the right to ask for additional testimony at any time. After hearing the facts from all parties regarding a petition, the chairman will close the public hearing and the board will deliberate and vote on the request before moving on to the next petition. Please turn off all cell phones and pagers if you have them.
If you plan to testify this evening, could you please stand and raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. First petition, come on down. John W. Rudolph, petitioner owner, variance under section 3.02 of the zoning ordinance to permit the construction of a single-family dwelling with a front setback of 45 feet, whereas 50 feet is required. The parcel is located at 154 Wilson Hill Road in the R1 Residential and Aquifer Conservation Districts, tax map 4A, lot 003, case number 2018-16. If you could sign in and then make sure the green light is on and just state your name for the record, please.
Rudolph?
Okay.
It's not on, it's got to be a bright green.
Bright green.
Push it again.
Oh, break read, that's it.
Yeah.
Hi, John. Why don't you tell us, give us kind of a quick overview of what we're looking at here.
Well, we have purchased 12 acres of land on Wilson Hill Road, most of it wetlands. So we have a setback of 40 feet from the wetlands, and we also have a 50-foot setback from Wilson Hill Road,
Okay.
which, can I skip right to number?
If you want to jump right into it, and just stop after each number. We may have questions for you, okay?
Okay, I'll just skip right to 5, the hardship.
Actually, why don't we need to read each one of them in the record for
Oh, okay.
for everything, to get everything done. So just stop after each one. We may have questions for you.
Granting the variance would not be contrary to the public interest. This request is for 2 simple overhangs over a 50-foot road setback.
Okay, questions? All right, number 2.
The spirit of the ordinance is observed because it does not affect the safety or welfare of the public or affect the environment.
Questions? 3.
Granting the variance would do substantial justice because it will create a benefit where the zoning restrictions or creating design hardships.
Questions, comments on that one?
I guess I'm not sure that statement. I'm a little bit confused here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying that substantial justice will be done to allowing us to change the variant, the ordinance, the zoning ordinance, because it'll benefit the zoning restrictions?
Maybe I just don't understand that question. I mean, it's substantial justice to whom? The zoning or to me? It would be justice for us because it is such a minor intrusion. Let me go back.
Mm-hmm.
What I initially requested was just two, if you've got the drawings, two very small roof overhangs that go into the 50-foot setback.
Okay.
We're not really asking for 45 feet.
Mm-hmm.
We're
I
just
saw the drawings.
We're asking for these two little overhangs.
Mm-hmm.
All the foundations fit within the setback.
Mm-hmm. No, I saw the drawings. Is pretty tight in there. Yeah. Yeah. And so in order for us to grant the petition, we just need to go through the 5 criteria to ensure that if we're going to be breaking a zoning ordinance in order to breaking a law, we have justification to do this. And that's why we asked that question. So when we're asking about substantial justice, it's substantial justice as it relates to you and as it relates to the zoning board, because you got to give us the ability to because if we're going to be breaking the zoning ordinance, we need to have the reasoning and the cause for it, especially if this is appealed for whatever reason. We need to have our reasoning for it.
I don't see anybody against me.
Yeah, if so,
Not tonight.
not tonight, but somebody will, if this is approved, somebody could come back within the next 30 days to appeal it. So that's why, the more ammunition and the more the ammo you give us, the better that we can make that judgment call and potentially in your favor, be able to say this is why this was done if it's appealed. That's the whole reason. We understand it's a really small piece of land, and believe me, if we could have just, all of us would also not be here this evening as well. So,
Well, I was hoping they would do it administratively, but
I understand. So that's why we asked the question about substantial justice. So if you could just give us, so we can have in the record, substantial justice, what we're looking at here as it relates to both yourself and us, would be very helpful.
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how to explain it.
Lynn, Lynn, you're on plan.
Yeah,
Why don't you kind of, maybe you can help?
What is substantial justice?
Right. I think Lynn might be able to better
I
explain.
think you're asking us to say that what you're proposing is reasonable based on the lot that is there, and that you have done everything you can to accommodate that lot with the zoning regulations. And if we approve this, it would be reasonable based on the other area or the other lots in the area, the neighborhood, and what anybody would come along and say that's reasonable. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I guess the best way to put it is why would it be reasonable then to grant this variance?
Well, I think that can go back to the previous question, if it affects nobody.
You're talking about the specific lot and how what you're trying to do on that specific lot is reasonable. Does that
That would say, so,
Okay, I think getting to the final question will explain all that.
well, you may not have to, that's why, this, and I get where you're going with this. Trying to say, so based on the lot dimensions and the tightness that you have put in there, you're saying that the variance do substantial justice because you have to meet a tight dimensional,
The buildable area
requirements.
is so constricted that we are at a disadvantage for designing something that is reasonable for the area and will actually improve the other lots.
does everybody find that?
I think we're good with that.
Good, it's good,
Okay.
that's okay. All right, number 4.
Number 4, for the following reasons, the values of the surrounding properties will not be diminished.
That's what's in-
Simple overhangs are, I've got a picture of what this house is gonna look like, and
Fortunately, we can't accept that this evening, but
can't
yeah, I see
accept
what you're
it.
saying, I see what you're
I
going for.
tried to submit it,
Yeah.
they wouldn't take it.
But your
It's going to
explanation
be a
is
substantial.
sufficient.
So just read your explanation, it should be sufficient.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Just read your explanation.
Roof line, we were 4, yes. The roof line overhangs will only create a more beautiful home, which should only increase property values.
Questions?
That's it.
I mean, there's undeveloped land right now.
Number 5, unnecessary hardship, A1.
Owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, denial of the variance will result in unnecessary hardship because no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purpose of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision to the property because it is just a simple and small roof overhang over an, I should have written that, unreasonable.
You want to eliminate that one word, right?
Please.
Thank you.
I was having a bad day when I
That's
wrote
all right.
That's okay, that's okay.
Over a 50-foot road setback.
road setback.
Any questions on that? All right, 2.
The proposed use is reasonable, one, because it's just simply a roof overhang, not a change of use, and just a design element.
Did everybody think that he's met hardship?
Yep.
All right, so you don't need to read the rest. That's why I said, because you've met the hardship. You only have to do 2. I know, you only have to do 2.
I want to read the hardship.
John, make it easy.
You-
Say thank you.
I'm sorry I brought you guys out here tonight.
We're trying to make this as painless as possible for you. All right, so are there any questions of the petitioner? Okay, so does anybody want to speak for this petition? Does anybody want to speak against this petition? I close the public hearing. Is anybody, questions, comments, discussion, motions?
Do you want me to turn this off?
No, you're fine. You can stay there.
Also move that we grant a variance under section 3.02 of the zoning ordinance to permit the construction of a single-family dwelling with a front setback of 45 feet, whereas 50 feet is required. The parcel is located at 154 Wilson Hill Road in the R1 Residential and Aquifer Conservation Districts, tax map 4A, lot 003, case number 2018-16.
Second.
Second by Kathleen. Can I just add one thing, Kelly, to this? Can I just have the substantial justice, can I have that answer changed to what we kind of, the Zina put down in notes? Okay?
Yep.
Just for the record. It goes on town record. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Sustained? It's 5-0-0. 30 days, you have 30 days, somebody can appeal. Otherwise, looks
Don't-
like a beautiful home.
Don't start building yet.
Good luck.
When we get it under budget.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much. Sorry to get you guys out here on such a nice night.
Yeah, well, thank you. All right, next on the agenda Any possible items of discussion?
Not from me.
Okay. And last but not least, approval of the minutes, the May 30th, 2018 minutes. Questions, discussion items?
I'll move we approve as printed.
Have a second? Seconded by Fran. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? 5-0. No one's abstaining? She watched it, so she's good.
See, Fran's cut on.
Rod?
Do I vote on that because I was present at the last meeting, but I'm an alternate tonight?
You can vote on it, yes.
No,
No, actually,
he's not a
no.
voting member.
It's not for tonight, because you're an alternate.
You're an
Sorry.
alternate tonight, so you don't vote.
That's why I was
Yep,
asking, do I
yep.
vote
Nope,
because I was
nope.
part of the last meeting?
Nope,
Okay.
you're not a voting member tonight.
Okay, Alexander.
No, all right. Any other discussion items? Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, seconded? Anybody? Second, Rich seconds that. All in favor, 5-0. Have a good night. Thank you, folks.